Are you sure about that? A question arose in a room filled with three people: a general, a commander, and the queen herself. Wine's stone cold eye shifted towards the general. Wine, did I ever need to repeat myself? Ash, general, as you say. The hesitation which they had was gone. Right. They never questioned her orders. She was their master. No matter what kind of ways she chose, at the end of the day, they were winning, and that's all that mattered. Eliminating their most beneficial partners over a little doubt, that was a huge gamble. Wine and her empire gained a lot after collaborating with them. It would be a whole massacre if they were to eliminate them, but it was her order and they needed to obey. Leo, I'll make the arrangements. It's a huge mission. Do you want me to contact JK? Wine, yes. We better win this. With that, she stepped out of the room, her heels clicking against the marble floor, created a sound which spread horror and fear everywhere. The building was filled with people, but no one made a sound when she passed by them. Those stone cold expressions, icy gaze, and the crown she wore of the devil. It was a message. No one mess with her. Ryan was the daughter of a man who ran a huge mafia empire. He was leading the underworld. Now, as her daughter, she was next in line. People feared her father, but Ryan? Even fear was afraid of her. A complete, ruthless leader she was. But with a weakness. A weakness only one person knew about: her enemy. Are we announcing a massacre based on a doubt? But if they didn't betray us with, then what? Wine stopped when she heard a voice coming from a room. Exactly. Then we'll be the one betraying them. Are we taking that risk? Said another. The doors burst open and entered the devil, siren eyes and long heels. There was pin drop silence afterwards. No one said a word, panic in their eyes. One moment they were raising a voice. The next moment one of them was on his knees on a gunpoint. Wine, I am your leader. If you cannot obey me, I don't need you, she said, holding a gun against his temple. Michael, my apologies for the rudeness. Please give me another chance. He begged, eyes on the ground, sweat dripping down his neck. Wine, you are needed for the team. Don't use your brains on useless things like this. Use them to plot the success of our mission. She removed the gun and walked out of there. Michael fell, holding his heart. He believed she was more scary than the gun itself. The night arrived, the mission took place. The battlefield was filled with bullets, screams, and blood. The opponent was a strong force. It was not easy to take them down. If anything, at one point, Wine's team was losing. Then he entered. Bullets came out of nowhere, one after another, taking the enemy down. No one knew what was happening. The tables turned within a moment. Wine's team was winning now. All because of him. As the war neared its end, there stood Vi, her heel on the chest of her enemy, a gun pointed at him, who laid on the ground, filled in blood, breathing heavily. Larson, how did you find out? Wine, the betrayal? I didn't. It was a hunch. Larson widened his eyes. Did he lose his whole empire and was going to lose his life over a little hunch of the devil? Larson, you want me to believe you operated a full scale mission over a hunch? Do I look crazy to you? Wine, you still not get it? The moment I got a bad vibe from you was the moment your death was confirmed. Wine, but seems like it was true. Don't worry. Once you're gone, I'll take over your empire so you can rest well in hell. She smirked and the bang was heard declaring the success of the mission. In the midst of the blood and dead bodies, her empire celebrated their success, yelled, danced, cheered each other. Their boss was gone. She always disappeared right after a mission ends. In the dead of the night, away from everyone, Vine stumbled against the wall, her grip tight, legs shaking, heels making her lose her balance. She was not the devil everyone knew of. Right now, she was weak, vulnerable, and sick. Her eyes unfocused, the anxiety hit her severely. After every mission, she hated blood, she hated taking lives. But this was the path she had to take after her father. She was not given a chance. As her body trembled and she struggled to breathe, a pair of heavy footsteps were heard. A man appeared from the shadows, a bike helmet in his hand, which fell right where he stood in front of Ryan. She was not in the condition to fight to protect herself. The man held her waist, placed his hand on the wall, and kissed her. His hand slid down the wall and held the nape of her neck. The gentle touch, the warm body against her, and the pair of soft lips. They took her anxiety away, like they did every time. He continued the kiss. Her body stopped trembling. He cupped her cheek. Her vision got clear. He twirled his kissing down her neck. Her heart stopped hurting. He intertwined their fingers, and she was officially out of her anxiety into the world of pleasure. When they pulled back and her eyes landed on him, he looked beautiful as ever. JK. No one knew his real name. He was a sniper in Underworld, the most expensive one to exist. The Mafia empires hired him for the mission. He was a hard one to hire because, first thing, he was extra expensive. Not someone your daddy's money could hire. Second thing, even if you had money, it depended on his mood. If he didn't want to work for you, he wouldn't. And third thing, He was another name of death. Dead bodies fell everywhere he went. If he was in your opponent's team, it was a sign you lost before you even began fighting. No planning, no strategy, no power worked against him. In the sea of thousand, he would be the last one to stand. Even though he killed so many people just now, he was clean as ever. His hair still smelled like the shampoo. His hands warm against her. Jungkook, for how long are you going to consider me your enemy? Accept it. Ryan, you need me. Ryan gripped his shirt in her fist. Ryan, a man I don't even know the name of? A man who killed my father? Jungkook, I was hired to do that. You can't hate me for this. You already took your revenge from them. He was hired to kill her father. If they were normal people, then she could blame him for her father's death. But they were not. They played in blood and dead bodies daily. They knew. The one who was at fault was the one who hired him to kill the man, not JK himself. It was an obvious fact, and they couldn't deny it. Yet, Wine's heart burned every time she looked at him. How could she desire this man? Nobody can ever calm her anxiety but him. No one can ever help her like him. No one knows her anxiety. If they did, they would take advantage of it. But why did he not? Jungkook, John Jungkook. Was it normal to shake the heart of the devil just by revealing your name? One felt incredible in that moment. He chose to tell her something no one knew about. Wine, why did you tell me that? JK, is it not obvious? I want you. Starting from trust, I want to own every part of you. I want to hand over every piece of me to you. They were two figures no one in this world could touch. They belonged to no one and feared by many. Jungkook closed the distance between them and kissed her again while keeping her trapped against the wall. Ryan kissed him back, an answer to his earlier question as a yes. She agreed and he groaned in between the kiss out of satisfaction and wrapped his arms around her waist. Together, they made a couple war was going to fear. Together, they owned power no one could ever stand against.